Welcome to the court. This is Acker at basketball.
Hello and welcome back. Court's in session for episode number 5. Real quick before we start, just want to say real quick about 90% of you that are watching these videos actually aren't subscribed. So go ahead, if you're enjoying this content and you're watching it, go ahead and click that sub button real quick. It's free and it helps out us a ton. So let's get started right into this week with the EKU Colonels. That very strong week for them. Started off by Tyler Hype Jackson. So this guy is the man that is believed to be the highest ever rated recruit in EKU history ever. Backcourt got even stronger and deeper with the commitment from Tyler Hype Jackson. The dynamic and shifty 6'2" guard showcased his scoring prowess during the EYBL Session 4, averaged 19 points per game there. He ranked 150th on 24/7 Sports list this year, and also 76th on Rival. So, Dad, I watched this guy's film, and when I saw his film, I saw the ability to create for himself, others, incredible athlete, especially in transition. I call him a soarer in transition. Like that, he just lifts off. Definitely see why he was a 4-star recruit. Didn't get to see too much on the defensive end, but most highlight videos don't showcase that type of stuff. So, and there were some steals that he brought into transition for buckets as well there. It just wasn't as common as maybe I've seen out of other guys, but that's also, once again, limited by just seeing highlight videos. What about you, Dad?
Oh yeah. His crossover and Twitch are just off the charts from what the action that I watched as well. Very similar to what you described in that context. He can score off the dribble at will. Just the volume of moves that he has is really high. So fantastic look there. And as you had said, from other aspects of the game, you don't see much in highlight videos, the parts that we get to see. So how he works off ball, how he works on the defensive end and the team construct, obviously we'll have to see how that plays out. Or one of my common statements, but he's got the tools for sure. There's no doubt about it. Very exciting, and really excited to look forward to seeing his action here at EKU. Let's roll into the second player here. Amara Knox also transfers into Eastern Kentucky, joins the backcourt following a massively successful season at Alabama State. The redshirt junior led the Hornets with 14.5 points per game and a first 4 win in last year's NCAA tournament. He also dropped a team-leading 18 in the next round versus Auburn. Knox was named to the first team swag for his efforts. Curtis, another player in the mold of what Coach Hamilton brings to his team of just pace scorers that can at will. The stats that Knox put together last year: 9 20-point games, 10 4-assist games, 21 2-steal games even last year. So he can do it all.
Yeah, I read last year, as far as like playability goes, is that he's transitionable, so he could probably play the 1 through 3. It seems like, because that's what it seems like Alabama State did a lot last year. Was playing him at the 3 spot. One thing I saw about him, so you may remember from that Alabama State game, as you had mentioned, they went and won in the first 4. He actually had the scoring basket that won them the game.
Right.
And one thing I saw that was consistent in that play and kind of across this highlight video was that he consistently was in the right place to receive the basketball. So for me, that shows that he's got some pretty high basketball IQ.
Right.
I was impressed with the scoring ability. He's been able to chip in on the defensive end, according to the statistics that I've been able to see in some game film as well. He's pretty good in double teams and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Knox brings to EKU, which is now in a loaded backcourt, as you and I have been talking about all week off camera here, just how loaded EKU's backcourt is.
Yeah. He even said it after believe it was after their win, the first round win is what to expect with Alabama, with Auburn game is work hard. That was his statement. So he's grounded in the fundamentals. He didn't even get too high after that after that extreme performance and finish in the first 4 game. So yeah, very impressive talent, and we'll see where they play out.
Yes. Let's move into Bellarmine. The Bellarmine Knights ended up getting Mr. Dominique Murphy Jr. The 6'6" wing from East Chicago capped his high school career by breaking the school and city record for points with 2,048. He won the Post Tribune Player of the Year award his senior season, averaged 22.6 points, 8.3 rebounds. Murphy displays complete and mature game at both ends of the floor. He scores from all 3 places on the floor. He demands respect out onto the floor. He's big. He's a thumper. One thing I would say is I want to see him improve on is, and I thought it was pretty consistent across most of the bigger guys this week, is just more little bit of less agile feet than I would like to see. And then when Murphy especially, like, I'll give him credit and discredit on this because he takes a lot of shots that I saw, at least. I feel like as a coach you'd go, no. Oh, okay, he made it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. He made that one. That's okay.
I've never done that ever, all the time. Never mind.
Yes. So for me, he's skilled. He's incredible. As the Reed said, he's got a complete game on both ends. I just want to see him kind of like sharpen it all.
Gotcha. What I liked is he plays to and through contact, so he's got a game that's set up for college basketball already. In my mind, what I saw from his high school play, you mentioned mature. He's patient with the ball. Will dish the ball when he gets double teamed or triple teamed at times as well. So and he makes a bucket, big time of the game, or even just a regular shot. He just looks like he's done it before. Mm-hmm. Right? Doesn't get too high, too low, at least outwardly. I made a comment. I think he could be my projection for where he's going. I'm going to give him a nickname of DD, or you could. I think he's going to double all the time. That's where that's my nickname for him. Whatever, but I can just see that happening with his talent and his skill set, and I think his mind as well, where he's going. And you might even see that this year. A lot of doubles for Bellarmine. Let's move into the next player, second player that Bellarmine picked up, another freshman, Robert Ant McAfee, Kentucky 4th Region Player of the Year. Robert McAfee joined the Bellarmine Knights for his freshman season. He averaged 20 points per game, shooting an electric 44% from the arc. McAfee led his team to a state championship as a junior, scoring 35 points in the championship game of that season. Here's a kid who's, to me, he's a little leaner, maturing still from a physical perspective, but a total catch and release shooter, sniper. He hit 11 3-pointers in one game last season. I believe it was last season, to highlight just what he can do from behind the line there. Just an incredible shooter from what I saw. Really works hard off the ball to get in position to take that shot. What do you have for additional things that you had seen from Ant here?
I just think that McAfee is going to be kind of like one of those off-ball, like 3-and-D type of guys. Like, he's got like the build to develop into that. I don't necessarily know if he's going to be. I think he's a developmental player coming in here his first year at Bellarmine. I think that's what the path is going to be for him, with definitely some chance to go if guys are getting injured, and maybe a chance to take off with that 3-point shooting ability. But he just seems raw to me from the film that I saw, and definitely think that, maybe a year learning might be best for Ant, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But he definitely has the skill set to be a competitor in the ASUN at some point here.
Yeah, I like his mind on it. He actually said almost the same thing to your point. He said he's thankful that that Bellarmine's got a trust in him, especially at a young age, not being fully matured, and my body is still not fully done growing yet. So you can see that's great to hear that he's aware of that aspect as he takes this big jump from where he has been.
Yeah, Self-awareness is great, and like that just goes into kind of like what head coach Kevin Carroll was talking about when we had him on the podcast a couple weeks ago. Just being humble and and making sure that you're coachable and being able to come in and mold yourself and better yourself. And it sounds like Ant's in a good place there with that.
Right. Yep. Agreed.
Let's move into Jacksonville now. So, Alan Udamahu. So he's a 6'10" forward. That's Alan Udamahu. He's committed to the Jacksonville Dolphins for his graduate season. He averaged 5.1 points and 4.4 rebounds in the past 2 seasons of Division I ball. He was with Morgan State for one of them, and then Missouri State last year, including winning a Defensive Player of the Week award as well during his time with those 2 teams. Udamahu, Dad, for me, I know you're really high on him, so I want to let you get in your spiel here in a second. For me, I see someone that is going to contribute on both ends of the court, but probably more from like a leadership off the bench type of role, like more like maybe like I'm giving him 14 minutes per game, and he's going to go out there and make a difference in some nights and then not in some. The only reason I say that is because he was really good, it seemed like, with Morgan State, his system fit. And then with Missouri State, he went off, and I think he only played more than 10 minutes, I believe it was. Definitely 15, only twice. So I'm kind of curious, Dad, maybe what you saw from his game style, maybe why you think that happened.
Well, I was picturing watching him play. What I saw was especially thinking about where he's going, Dolphins fans, Stephon Payne, Kendall Munson from last year. That's what I saw quite a bit in the athleticism level that Udamahu can bring to the floor. He can catch, and adding to that, one of the things I saw, I think this was mostly from his Morgan State time 2 seasons ago, was he can catch the ball back to the basket and make a lot of offense happen, either for himself, going both directions, finishing both directions, not only footwork-wise, but also hand-wise to put the bucket in. Also wasn't afraid to make a move and then dump off at the last second for a teammate underneath or kick to the outside. So on the offensive end. Defensively, he, again, physical, strong, agile, way more athletic than I was expecting, basically looking purely at statistics from what I watched. So that's what made me think about Stephon Payne, Kendall Munson, is that they that were brought, that of their games of what they brought last season. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. So
right.
We'll see. I think you're right. I think time amount of gameplay, you're probably in the right neighborhood there as well. But that's hopefully I'm bringing that kind of action that Coach Muncy likes to have.
Well, Muncy likes to play big on both, the 5 and the 4 spot. Like we saw a lot of times, Zimmy at the 4 or Kendall Munson, and then Stephon mainly at the 5. But you got Donovan Rivers that kind of cracked in there towards the end of the year. I expect him to be in the starting lineup. You got Charles Caparasso, who's here as well. Tito Dang's coming back most likely. Enrico Borrio. So I think this is those are 4 guys already. Yeah. Above 6'8" here. So it's going to be a kind of a fight for who's going to end up getting that spot. And one thing I think Jacksonville doesn't have a lot of is wings. They don't have many wings on their team, so there's opportunity there if maybe like a guy like Tito Dang, because he's tall, but he's also, he's a bit more lengthy, so he might be able to slide in and play maybe a wing spot instead.
Yep, I like that. Good idea, or good thought, right? And see how it plays out there, right? Cool. So, all right, let's turn last but not least, turn our attention to Lipscomb. They also have a new freshman coming in. It was that I guess was signed, Devin Martin. Devin Martin, 6'8" power forward. He's an athletic double threat. We've already said that today. Okay, so an athletic double threat. He was named the Tennessee Sports Writers Association Class 4A All-State Selection out of the Knoxville area. Martin scored over 1,000 points in his high school career. What I see from Devin Martin, is at least again, I'm looking at mostly his high school film. He's just dominant athletically compared to the peers that he played with, and well, not necessarily with. I think they had a good, strong team, but his opponents as well. He could just dominate. So whether it be driving the ball, shooting the three, blocking shots, really good help defender. If someone turned their back and his teammate had him and went up to, he was blocking everything. Like, he really read plays great in that regard from the defensive end. And offensively, we saw a lot of him just blowing by somebody and dunking, alley-oop dunks. Doesn't mean he can't shoot the ball. That's just, they didn't need to, basically. That's how dominant he was at the high school level that I saw. So I see him, again, kind of like you described a little bit with Ant McAfee, a little bit more of a development year for him as he adjusts to the masses of players that are going to be more athletic than he saw in high school, is my instinct. So that's where I'm at with Martin, but a nice addition to the program for sure. Another different style game as a power forward.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw a guy kind of like him in Akbara last week as well. So now they got two guys very similar as far as like just big wings that can carry the ball in themselves, more forwards rather than wings. But yeah, they can carry the balls in themselves, make plays. They can shoot from deep if they need to. They can also go in and dunk if they need to. One thing with Martin as well is that I thought his hands were very well disciplined as well on the defensive end. So I was pretty impressed. And overall, it was a great week for Lipscomb. They also added Derek Brooks. So he was announced as assistant coach, and then they also brought on Jack McMahon as assistant coach and director of basketball operations. So Brooks spent the last 2 years as an assistant coach with his alma mater, Air Force, and then McMahon spent the last 2 years as a graduate assistant at Vanderbilt, where he completed his master's degree. So that was overall rounding out a great week for Lipscomb, which has just continued to build and build and build since Kevin Carroll has gotten there.
That's right. Yep. And it was, I read it, Jack McMahon. It kind of that's completing the staff is what I saw at Lipscomb with those two hires there for sure. So one other coaching change. This is a departure from the ASUN conference. Chase Driscoll spent the last 4 years at UNF as an assistant coach under his father. He's left the nest. He also served as director of basketball operations at his alma mater. He heads to Kansas State as their director of video and analytics. So different type of role. Being that Coach Driscoll, obviously that name has been around UNF for quite some time. Maybe we'll see him come back someday. Who knows? In a different role, but it's good for him to kind of spread his wings and see where that's going to lead him.
Yeah, exactly. A huge opportunity now going to the Big 12. So
exactly.
Big for him. Congratulations. And then that's going to do it for this episode. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you did not like. Of course, you can be sure to subscribe right down there. It's for free, as always. And until then, take care.